Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're going to unpack a song that was just huge, an anthem, really, for so many people.
Yeah.
Hold On by Wilson Phillips.
Absolutely. A monster hit from 1990.
Yeah, and we're diving into a source from Song Facts that gives us some really interesting background on it.
Right. And, most people know the basics,
Yeah.
right? Daughters of music legends, the Mamas and the Papas, the Beach Boys.
Exactly. But there's a much more personal story here that we want to get into.
That's the mission, right? To understand where this song actually came from, why it hit so hard.
Okay, so let's get into it. The song, at its core, it's encouragement. It's speaking directly to someone having a really tough time.
Yeah, that main line, hold on for one more day. I mean, it couldn't be clearer, could it? It's the whole message right there.
And this is where it gets really fascinating and central to why it worked so well. Our source says Jenna Phillips wrote the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
And it came straight out of her own life, her own really intense struggles back then.
Yeah, the source mentions specifically drug and alcohol addiction, and also dealing with a breakup, a lost love.
Wow. So, pretty heavy stuff, fueling what sounds like, on the surface, a bright pop song.
Definitely. And what's really key is the philosophy behind it. She talked openly about being inspired by 12-step recovery ideas.
Wow.
Specifically that concept of taking things just one day at a time.
Right. That makes so much sense. Don't get overwhelmed by the future. Just focus on getting through today.
Exactly. Because trying to fix everything at once is just, it's too much. But one day, maybe you can manage that. And that urgency is in the song.
You can really hear both sides in the lyrics too, can't you? There's that hopeful part, like things will go your way.
Yeah, a bit of reassurance.
But then there's also that kind of tough love angle. No one can change your life except for you.
That accountability, it's not just passive hope. It's saying, you have agency here. You have to be the one to take that step.
It's like vulnerability and empowerment all wrapped up together.
So moving on to the music itself. The source mentions the producer, Glenn Ballard. Huge producer.
Yeah, he gave Gina the music track first.
Right. And apparently the idea for the lyrics, the inspiration, it sort of hit her when she was sitting in her car.
Isn't that amazing? Just a quiet, maybe even mundane moment leading to this massive song.
Happens like that sometimes. And speaking of the music, there are some cool details in the production.
Oh, yeah.
The source points out Joe Walsh played guitar on the track.
The Joe Walsh.
Yeah.
Like Eagles Joe Walsh. Funk #49.
Yep. That Joe Walsh seems a bit surprising, maybe, for a pop song like this.
Definitely seems out of character, you'd think.
Well, the source suggests Ballard liked bringing in really top-tier, sometimes unexpected musicians. And Walsh, he does have that smoother side, too. Maybe Ballard wanted a specific sound only he could deliver.
Interesting. So Ballard had this vision, and it's wild thinking about their literal music royalty and working with Ballard, who later did Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. Yet they apparently struggled at first. The source says getting a record deal wasn't easy. People were skeptical.
Yeah, they really had to kind of fight for it, prove themselves beyond the names.
But then, once they got signed to SBK, Hold On just took off. It exploded.
And their image probably helped, too. The source mentions how down-to-earth they seemed. Not glammed-up pop stars, just, normal people in jeans.
That relatability factor made them feel accessible, maybe.
I think so. And it helped them connect with a huge audience. Apparently, it even skewed a bit older, hitting #1 on the adult contemporary chart, not just teens.
Which makes sense, given the depth of the message we talked about.
Totally. And that message, that simple hold-on idea, it just echoed, it went way beyond the charts, became part of the culture.
Oh, absolutely. Like in the movie Bridesmaids, right?
Yeah.
That scene is iconic.
Yes, where they're all singing along. It taps into that nostalgia, that shared feeling the song evokes.
And it keeps popping up, doesn't it? Commercials, TV shows like Chuck used it.
Yeah, it has this lasting power. It's kind of become the song for when you just need that little push to get through the day.
So when you boil it all down, Hold On started as something incredibly personal for Jenna Phillips, like a real cry from the heart about her own fight.
Right, based on her struggles and that one day at a time recovery mindset.
But because that feeling, that struggle,
Yeah.
is something so many people understand, it turned into this universal anthem, a message of hope, of just keeping going.
This deep dive really highlights how powerful music can be when it's truly authentic. Even a simple message, if it comes from a real place, can connect with millions.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? If a song born from such intense personal difficulty, from addiction recovery, could become this massive source of encouragement for everyone.
Mm.
What other kinds of strength, what hidden wells of resilience might be waiting inside the tough times in our own lives, maybe right under our noses?